Hey guys, what's going on? Steven back again, and I'm back with another 40K video from Inquisitor Romanov. And the title of the video is Emperor's Children Try to Save Fulgrim from a Demon Painting. Okay. Sounds pretty interesting. I do remember hearing some lore about a painting. I don't know if it's the same one or not. I don't remember the full lore of it, but like there was a woman doing like this painting, and no matter what she did, like the painting just wasn't perfect, if you will. So she kept at it and kept at it and kept at it, and of course as time went on, she started to get a little nutso, and things started to get darker and darker and darker, and she started painting blood, and she started to use other stuff to paint this painting with. So I don't know if it's the same painting or not. I don't remember hearing anything about Fulgrim needing saving from that painting. I could be wrong. But yeah, it's kind of all I remember about that lore and stuff. Just that woman was just doing this painting, and as time went on, because it wasn't coming out the way she wanted it, she started to get twisted and twisted and twisted. And things just got darker and darker. You know, this is probably why Emperor's Children are probably my favorite Traitor Legion. You know, a lot of their lore and stuff is just so dark and twisted and messed up. Character lore, you know, some of the characters and stuff, not that great. You know, Lucius the Eternal, kind of a shit character. You know, like not even a good duelist and stuff like that. You know, oh, you killed me, so now you took pride in that, so you become me or I become you. You know? Model-wise, though. Model-wise, I got his model and stuff like that. Badass. I mean, that is one very cool, badass-looking model. But lore-wise, not that great. I hear it's kind of like the same with Fulgrim. Like, his lore's a little like here and there. I need to find a video that goes into like full lore, you know, about like Fulgrim. I don't know if there's like, I'm sure there's videos, I just haven't come across any that go into like full lore about like a Primarch. Like I've seen like lore about every Primarch, but like the video is all about all the Primarchs, which is like, oh, this is this Primarch here, and you grew up on this planet, and blah, 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 blah. And then, you know, like, there's maybe, like, 2 to 3 minutes about each Primarch and stuff, and it just kind of goes over the basics. You know, like, I want, like, a video just focused on, like, a Primarch and stuff like that, so I can learn, like, you know, about Fulgrim, because I've heard, like, mixed things, like, yeah, he was kind of like a lazy Primarch. He didn't want to do much. He didn't do much. He did some things. So it was kind of like a hit or miss, you know? But looks-wise and stuff, like Demon Primarch Fulgrim, that is one cool-looking model. It's kind of how I picked, you know, Dark Angels when I first started. I was looking through them all and came across some of the models, and it's like, oh damn, look like these dudes in like robes and hoods and like winged helmets and stuff. Like, that's pretty cool. And then I went into lore and I was like, okay, sold, you know? So I kind of go off the the drip factor, if you will, and that's kind of how I picked you know, pick my chapters and legions. And yeah, I mean, Emperor's Children, you know, looks wise, yeah. Character lore? Nah. Lore overall? Dark stuff. But, yeah, let me know. Who is your favorite Traitor Legion and why? Let me know. Alright, so anyways, let's get on to the video and find out about Emperor's Children trying to save Fulgrim from a demon painting. Here we go.
We all know that Fulgrim, Primarch of the Emperor's Children, is a bit dark and indulgent, but the true depths of his depravity rival the Marianas Trench. And we get to see this on full display in the Horus Heresy story The Reflection Cracked by Grant McNeil. where the Emperor's children torture their Primarch beyond what a normal mortal could take. Like, it would literally kill anyone less than a Primarch, even a Space Marine. And he absolutely loves it, which is one of the best moments in all of Warhammer 40K lore. So this story takes place after Istvan V, after the Maraviglia and La Fenice, aboard the Pride of the Emperor, the 3rd Legion's flagship. And this story is pretty solid, and in my opinion, contributes heavily to Warhammer 40K lore, making the Phoenician just that much more understandable. Captain Lucius, later to be named the Eternal, is having dreams every night, and he hasn't dreamed in years, but they are realistic and vivid, and he can't help but feel like they are prescient in some way.
I mean, like, see, like, Lucius looks pretty cool looking and
the
stuff.
auditorium where the Emperor's children first embraced Slanesh and excess during the massacre known as the Maraviglia, where the Noise Marines were born. And he keeps feeling this call to the center of the stage, where Fulgrim has hung a painting of himself that is so exquisite that it is practically perfect. But if you've read Horsehair's 5th book titled
I think that is
Fulgrim,
what I was talking about earlier.
It was painted with every single bodily fluid imaginable, and then some. And multiple massacres and orgies had to take place in order to paint it. But it is the eyes of the Primarch that keep haunting Lucius. Like, he's literally shaken by how they are crying out in pain and agony, just trying to get some message across that cannot be spoken aloud as it's just a painting. But Lucius knows that somehow this painting is trying to
That is so cool.
So during the regular events of their lives, as the combat high of Istvan V wore off and the pursuit of excess became all-consuming, the Emperor's children were meeting with the Primarch, who was announcing their plans and hinting that there was something really fun coming up. And Lord Commander Eidolon was stupid enough to dare questioning Fulgrim during one of his monologues, and the Primarch did not take it well. He flew into an insensate rage, and would have made Khorne proud, honestly, and beheaded Eidolon right then and there. But that's okay. Fabulous Bill was able to Frankenstein his head back on in a later story, so probably a fun experience
Fabulous Bill
Schwarzenegger to go through, truth be told.
Oh, Bill.
I mean, what is more extreme and excessive than being decapitated by a Primarch and having your head stitched back on by a crazy apothecary in a skin dress that would make Buffalo
that is
Bill
pretty brutal.
Fulgrim's behavior is getting more and more erratic. He doesn't seem to recall battles that he fought in, talking about them with a detached indifference that would make Lucius and others question who he was. Lucius becomes very suspicious that it is indeed an imposter posing as the Primarch. Lucius notes that he thinks he can take Fulgrim in a fight after seeing the Primarch
there is
battle,
the clone of Perfect Fulgrim.
That doesn't add up. Nothing seems
Whether
to add
anything
up.
will come of that, who
Not
knows?
how he acts, not what he says.
I hear it's been like 10 years since that's happened, so...
And certainly not what he does. Fulgrim seems totally unhinged and uncaring and removed from reality. Before long, it is more than just Lucius that notices it. Fabius Bile, Julius Caesaron, and Marius Verocian all seem to take note too. But since none of them trust or even like one another, it is quite a while before they start to put together that others of the 3rd Legion's leadership are noticing it as well. And it kind of comes to a head on the planet Prismatica, where they're fighting a mechanicum force to gain control of the world, which has skyscraper-sized prisms everywhere, and it's like a forest of light reflecting and bouncing everywhere. Totally psychedelic. Reminds me of some 70s sci-fi movies like Zardoz or Logan's Run. Lucius sees Fulgrim in battle and notices that he isn't absolute perfection on the field, and that he's relying on sorcerous powers that he didn't need nor use before, and he didn't relish his victories, even after taking down what was either a large knight or a small titan, pretty much totally single-handedly. So Lucius decides to go against the Primarch's orders, and he realizes that he needs to examine the painting in La Fenice, and he has to fight his way in there, as it is literally guarded by 6 Phoenix Guard Terminators, and Lucius just butchers them, as elite as they are.
Terminators?
So they just were no match for his swordsmanship. It made me sad, as the Terminator models for them in the Horus Heresy range are some of the best looking troops models in the range. But hey, lore is lore and models are models. And when he's in La Fenice, the captain, who would soon become the Chosen of Slanesh, the equivalent of his god's own Karn the Betrayer, Typhus, or Ahriman, sees the eyes on the painting and notes that they are crying out in misery, begging him for help. and he recognizes them. He exclaims, "Fulgrim!" And while he's in the chamber, he notices that it is empty of bodies. There
Okay,
are no
look how
drag
terrifying
marks,
Lucius looks.
just
Like, come
outlines
on.
of stains.
He may
where
be
the
like a
bodies had
terribly
been.
written character and stuff like that, but that looks
Remember the Maraviglia
horrifying.
in Venice. Lucius fully realizes that some power had taken the bodies, probably in a warp-fueled sorcerous way, and he assumes that it is his Primarch, and Fulgrim has found a way to sustain himself in the painting. So he may have been growing in power, trying to get his way out of there, freeing himself. So Lucius makes it his personal mission to free his Primarch from the painting and force whatever demon is possessing his body out, freeing it for the true Primarch's soul to inhabit it again. And Lucius does pretty much the unthinkable. He convenes the Brotherhood of the Phoenix, a secret society, one of the warrior lodges like the Mournival of the Sons of
Brotherhood of the
Horus,
Phoenix.
consisting of the highest-ranking members of the Emperor's children.
Sounds pretty cool.
The Primarch is the topic of the day, and keep in mind, nobody wants to earn the ire of Fulgrim. Every one of them is scared of him after what he did to Eidolon. He's totally crazy. But also keep in mind, they all hate Lucius and are extremely loyal to Fulgrim, despite his downward spiral. So ironically, it all goes pretty well. I mean, they straight up all see how he's different. It was subtle at first, but it has been getting worse. So First Captain Julius Caesarion, who absolutely loathes Lucius, steps up and agrees with him completely. He buys the painting theory that the Primarch is switched with a demon. And Fabius Bile, the chief apothecary, steps up and states that Fulgrim's latest blood tests are showing that he's on the verge of some serious transformation of some sort, that he's basically in a pupil state and is metamorphosizing. Now, we know the fun winged snake with 4 arms that he becomes, Laren in form.
Yep.
But at this point, the Emperor's children had no clue what Fulgrim was going to become, and no clue what they bit off when they agreed to sell their souls to She Who Thirsts, Prince of Pleasure.
Yep.
In my opinion, the Emperor's children may have been the least well-fit Legion to go traitor, in a lot of ways. So with all the clues put together, they go after Fulgrim and jump him, and they fight him while he's naked and unarmored. And he still pretty much mops them up, doing some serious damage, just completely
Well, of course,
bare-handed.
he's still a
One of them
Primarch.
slits his throat at one point, but he shrugs it off in seconds, and his Primarch physiology just heals it almost instantly. He stomps that dude's head and pops it like a melon, if I recall correctly. Okay, so eventually they're able to take him down. Well, at least to knock him out.
Okay.
Funny enough, Lucius considers that even if they had to, they may not even be able to kill him, as they're mortals and he's basically a demigod.
Right.
So the crew straps him down and decides to interrogate him. As he comes to, he's all friendly and just talks their ears off. Fulgrim just won't shut up. He invites them to torture him harder as he endures the most severe of interrogation techniques. Eventually, no progress is made, so Lucius and the apothecary Bile and the first Captain Caesarion decide to crank up the torture. Bile says that a demon cannot be tortured out of a human because they die physically before the demon even felt it. But a Primarch is another story altogether.
Okay.
And Bile is convinced they can use excruciation to torture the body of Fulgrim so hard that the demon comes out of it.
Really?
But they did realize the conundrum that they didn't know how to get the real Fulgrim out of the painting. They might be killing the Primarch, but it would be better than letting a demon puppet his body around and command the Third Legion. And Fulgrim tells them of many things, but the part I thought was the best was how he explained good and evil to them. He's under more and more intense excruciation, many needles pumping horrific things into him, hitting his nerves, and at one point Marius Verocian didn't put the needle in the most optimal place to induce pain, and Fulgrim corrected him on it, just totally getting off on it. He loved every second of it, and opined the whole time. And Fulgrim corrected him on it, just totally getting off on it. He loved every second of it, and opined the whole time, waxing loquacious and philosophizing on a Primarch level. But he tells them that what they're doing is evil, that he's the only one in the chamber who can be considered good, as he is evolving, becoming more complex. Just as life itself gets more complex and adapts.
You guys are doing evil things.
So too is he becoming the next step in his own godhood's evolution. The Primarch lets them all know that he isn't the demon, that he switched places with the demon a while back. Though it did have him trapped in the painting for a while, he did eventually find a way to best it, overcome it,
So he
and to take
was
his power
trapped in a
back,
painting.
and his body along with it. He said that the demon wanted free, so was posing as him in captivity to get Lucius to let it out, and that everything went
Fulgrim
well,
has black eyes.
considering.
Oh,
The Emperor's children learned of their mistake a moment later, as Fulgrim's biceps just totally swole and destroyed the bonds restraining him. He ripped right out of them like Douglas Quaid in Total Recall.
Damn.
No, not that Colin Farrell crap, even if it was closer to the novel. I mean the real movie, the Paul Verhoeven film starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course. Fulgrim just totally took all that torture for fun. He didn't even have to endure a second of it, and had the power to get away at any moment.
okay, that is pretty
That's
disturbing.
when he tells the Emperor's children that they are Slaaneish's bitches now, so they better get used to extreme sensation, as they are to experience everything. Even things that they may find distasteful or stuff they aren't into. They better get to it because their entire legion needs to indulge deeply. No sensation is to be avoided. Even being beheaded and having it sewed back on and rot slowly over millennia, apparently. Eidolon. But Fulgrim hasn't yet become what he will one day be.
Right.
Though the story does end with a speech he gives.
He hasn't
and he's
become the
all
demon
about going to
Primarch
find
yet.
the Angel Exterminatus, which is why he was collecting all the prisms from Prismatica, as he wants to build a city of mirrors, and somehow that will help him transcend or get a hold of the Angel Exterminatus. And this is where he tries to sacrifice Perturabo to achieve apotheosis. He still transcends, but the Lord of Iron endured. But that is a topic for another video. What do you guys think? Honestly, with all the weird pervert comments I've been getting lately, I'm actually scared to know.
Okay, so there we go. There is the video. That is
Dream sensation.
pretty insane. This is why I like Emperor's Children got some very messed up lore, like enduring all that torture just for fun when he could have got out of it the whole time. You know, that is pretty disturbing. So we did swap with a painting for a while, but he managed to set himself free and get rid of the demon. That is pretty insane. You know, that is some pretty insane lore. And then I think didn't they also, like, after they tackled him and captured him and stuff like that, didn't they? Oh wow, my camera definitely went out of focus there. Wow, ooh-wee. Try to fix that zoom. There we go. After they captured him, didn't they, like, try to grape him? Or grape the demon out of him? And he ended up enjoying that? Isn't that some lore? I think I heard somewhere in another video. Yikes. That is pretty disturbing. But yeah, that is pretty intense. But yeah, the what was it? The Maraviglia. Yeah, that was another thing. But that was a what was that? What I was thinking of earlier, the Maraviglia. What was that? The same thing I was thinking of? A rare recording of the Grand Symphony played in the Emperor's Children, which heralded the dark descent of their legion at the onset of the Horus Heresy. The Emperor's Children, Dark Apostles, can transmit the remnant through the armor Vokcasters. Mere seconds of this perverted symphony will drive the servants of Slaanesh into further access. Oh, is that what I was thinking of earlier, was the Maraviglia? And then isn't that how the Noise Marines came to be? So it wasn't a painting, it was this song, I believe. Or this symphony. But either way, messed up. Very messed up stuff. But, yeah, so there we go. There is the video. Let me know what you guys think. Emperor's Children. Very disturbing stuff. But yeah, let me know. Who is your favorite Traitor Legion and why? And if there is any videos that focus on just a single Primarch and not like a video that, you know, goes over all the Primarchs and, you know, like a 3-4 minute thing for each Primarch, let me know, because I would like a video that focuses on each individual Primarch. I think that'd be awesome to, you know, learn more about each individual Primarch. Yeah, just let me know, or post a link to the video down below in the comment section. And other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button, that'd be awesome. Remember, feel free to subscribe to my channel. And other than that, just stick around. More videos are on the way, and I will see you guys next time.